Today you're going to make name tags, and if you look at both of these examples you can see that both of the names are centered. They have a different number of letters in their name, so if you look at the center line here we have 3 letters on this side and 3 letters on this side. And if you find the center here we have the N overlapping the center line and then 2 letters and then 2 letters. So before we begin you need to find the center, and then you're going to work by writing your name from the center line out instead of writing your name left to right. So first you're going to have this sheet of paper and you are going to fold it in thirds. So this right here will be your bell work, and you can see the student has finished all kinds of vocabulary from the units that we'll go through in the 9 weeks. So the first thing you're going to do is kind of find the center. You put your hand like in the middle to estimate, to crease your paper. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it gives you a good start. And then when you open it up, you have 3 spaces. So it's kind of broken down into thirds. This is where you'll print your name in pencil very lightly first. And I'm going to go through the process with 2 sections here that I've sort of illustrated for you. First thing that we're going to do is find the center line vertically. So here is about the center of this one. They're about equal space. You don't need rulers for this. We're just working on lightly sketching and estimating, and these are about the same. So if I have my son's name is Nicholas, I'm going to write his name in capital letters right there at the top, very small in this section of the paper, and then my first name is Amy, only 3 letters. So no matter if you have a long name or a short name, they need to fill up the space equally. So I'm going to count and then divide. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 4 and 4. This is where the center line is. And then we have 3. So the center line is at 1.5 or right through the M. So if I go through and I start, I'm not going to start with the N. I'm going to look at spacing. I have to put 4 letters here and 4 letters here. So an O can be like really, really wide, or it could be very skinny. An H can be very wide, or 2 parallel lines and very narrow. So we're looking at space here, which happens to be an element of art. So we're going to look at the O, and I'm going to kind of sketch lightly about the spacing. The L probably take up about this much, the bottom of the A probably take out about that point, and then the S can only take about this. And you can see my lines are very, very sketchy. They're not super neat, and that's why it's important for you to draw lightly so that you can look at the lines and look at the spacing so you can go back and adjust. So we're not looking for a perfect line yet. Now I'm going to go on to the left side of the line and start with my H, and then looking at spacing here, and then my C, that'd be too big, so it needs to be narrow. So you can see I don't even complete the letter, so that I can make sure that I have enough space for all of them. So I've got my I, then I can come through with my pencil and sketch a little bit more, and then I can get rid of this center line later, but I really want to adjust my letters. Once I have them sketched lightly, then I can go over them with a darker marker. And then when the marker is dry, I can erase any pencil lines that are showing. So moving over to Amy, I have 3 letters, but it has to fill the space. So I'm going to look at my M taking up quite a bit, my Y, and then my A can be a little bit wider. So I'm coming through here. I want these to go basically top to bottom. And you can see how sketchy my lines are, because then it gives me multiple options to figure out which line I actually want to keep and trace over. So either way, they need to be centered, and you work from the center line out. So take your time, and then these are due tomorrow.